Jesus Christ, do I really gotta make another one of these videos? Should the Houston Dynamo rebrand? Well, short answer is that if it's anything like the Chicago Fire rebrand, then hell no! Okay, for real though, let's actually figure this out. When MLS moved the San Jose Earthquakes to Houston before the 2006 season, they weren't originally known as the Dynamo. Nope. Instead, they were introduced as Houston 1836. 1836 meant to symbolize the year Houston was founded. I gotta be honest, when I first saw this in 2006, I loved everything about it. I mean, the orange color scheme, we hadn't seen an orange team in MLS up to this point. I thought it looked great. And then the shape of the badge in a star that was so unique. And then it had such cool imagery with the badge, with the silhouette of the guy on the horse, and then the cool designs at the bottom of the star. And then the name, just big, bold font right in the middle. 1836 just punches you right in the face. Like, we've never seen a team be named after a year before, at least not in America. It was just so different and awesome. And then someone gave me a history lesson. You see, 1836 was the year General Sam Houston defeated General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. In other words, it was when Texas gained independence from Mexico. I'm not Latino, so I'm not qualified to say anything here. I can't say just get over it because it's still a touchy subject. So even if I think 1836 sounds awesome, if Mexican Americans are offended by it, then it's not worth using. So instead of just ignoring the controversy for decades and pretending like the backlash doesn't exist, Houston decided to pull an audible. They figured, let's not start off on the wrong foot here. So the new name they came up with was Dynamo, which was supposed to represent how Houston was the energy capital of the world. Again, I thought that was a great name, and I was so happy they kept the orange color scheme. And then I saw the badge, and I thought, it's acceptable. It's been about 15 years since that badge was released, and well, my opinions haven't really improved, as evidenced by my badge ranking video. I think the badge is okay, just very generic looking. Now, yes, while I do believe aesthetically speaking the Dynamo badge is a downgrade from the 1836 badge, it's important to recognize that this badge and branding didn't come out until about a month before their season was supposed to start. So perhaps they were a little bit rushed with the creative process. Now, okay, with all that being said, generic badge or not, that's not why this team is struggling. No, the attendance has been on the decline for a while now. I mean, you look at the Robertson Stadium days and they were sometimes packing in 30,000 plus fans. And then when BBVA first opened up in 2012, they were getting near sellouts most games. But now today, you have certain games with entire sections just completely devoid of fans. The most important aspect to a stadium is location. Location, location, location. Your stadium needs to be in a spot with a lot of people around. It needs to be downtown. If it's not downtown, the team's gonna have a harder time filling it up. There is one glaring exception to that rule, and that's Houston. Houston has a beautiful stadium in downtown, and they can't fill it up. Why? Well, a couple reasons. A lot of businesses buy season tickets and then simply don't use them. That's why certain sections are just completely abandoned. Now, this problem isn't totally unique to Houston, but from what I've read, it seems to be a bigger problem here than other places. The owner, well, one of them, Gabriel Brenner. Houston fans do not like this guy or the decisions he's making. He took over in 2015, and not coincidentally, that's when you started to see the attendances really start to fall. Dynamo fans, I feel for you guys. As a Fire supporter, we had a very similar situation of our own with our last owner as well. A lot of Dynamo fans are just fed up with this team and not renewing their season tickets. And it's mostly because Brenner is just being too damn cheap. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you heard a rumor, just a rumor, about them going after a big name, well-known player? I mean, okay, they did sign DeMarcus Beasley, and listen, I love Beasley, but he ain't no Zlatan. I mean, a left back isn't gonna put butts in the seats. It doesn't make sense. Like, you've got this huge Latino population in Houston, and you can't land one player from the Mexican national team or from Liga MX? I mean, SKC got Polito, Miami got Pizarro, the Galaxy got Chicharito. Like, Houston, did you even try and get Chicharito? And don't tell me it's impossible. I mean, Columbus and Vancouver, and no offense, Columbus and Vancouver, you guys are great, but if those two markets, who aren't even close to Mexico, can land Liga MX talent, then how in the world can Houston not? And then when they do finally get someone that is marketable and someone that is becoming a star in this league, Albert Elise, they sell him for $1 million. Now, according to Transfer Market, which I think is a credible source, I mean, if it's not, I apologize. I just don't really know where else to go for this information. But according to Transfer Market, Houston bought Elise from Monterrey in 2018 after the initial loan ended for somewhere in the ballpark of $2.42 million. And Transfer Market valued Elise at the time at about $900,000. Then, after Elise put up numbers similar to Miguel Almiron, Transfer Market then valued Elise at $3.85 million. So that's more than 3 times as much as he was valued back in 2018. That's a pretty good markup. And yet Houston only managed to sell him for $1 million. Listen, I want MLS to be a selling league, but not like this, because that was a bad deal. All things considered, I think they've done okay on the field. Made a couple playoff runs, they won a US Open Cup, and I think they've got a good manager now in Tab Ramos. But they are constantly near the bottom of spending in MLS, and you can't always just go hunting in the bargain bin. You gotta spend money to make money. They might have some pieces, but some pieces are not enough to sustain long-term success in this league. You know what they need more than anything though? Some billboards. I talked to 2 different Dynamo fans on this matter. They both echoed the same thing. This team has no presence downtown, despite having a stadium downtown. There are some people that don't even know the Dynamo exists because there's no advertising for the Dynamo. There's no billboards. There's not enough Dynamo merchandise floating around in stores. They don't even talk about the Dynamo in the Houston Chronicle. Which, okay, that's kind of the newspaper's fault. They should be talking about them. But hey, guess what? If you want them to talk about you, give them a reason to talk about you. I've been to Atlanta. Atlanta United have billboards. They have bumper stickers everywhere. People hanging Atlanta United flags in their front yard. Atlanta is proud of their team. Houston doesn't even realize they have a team. And that's a problem. And MLS, part of this is on you guys too. Please, stop giving the Dynamo day games. I know it's impossible to create the perfect schedule to please everyone, but in case you haven't realized this, Houston is hot. They need to be playing these games at night. So do I think the Dynamo need a rebrand? No! I think they need a new owner that's willing to spend money on advertising and bringing in big name players. And from what I've read online, most supporters agree that a rebrand is completely unnecessary. The big difference between the Fire rebrand and the Dynamo rebrand is that Fire supporters were vehemently against touching the badge. They loved the Florian cross. And with Houston, that's not so much about the badge itself, but more so the orange color scheme. The good news is that I don't think the orange is going anywhere. Like, it wouldn't make sense to change up the color scheme. Like, their whole stadium has orange seats. They're not going to rip out those seats and replace them with a new color the team would go with. Like, that just wouldn't make any sense. Also, Houston FC is already taken. There's a USL2 side with that same name. Thank God, because I am so done with city name FC in MLS. So if they do change anything, I would guess it would probably be a badge refresh, which I don't think is an awful idea. The thing is, I don't know where they go with this, because as much as I love the Dynamo name, how do you visualize that into a badge? And then, after perusing some message boards, I found this old game day graphic from the Dynamo Twitter. Now, hear me out. Nothing else really works with Dynamo, right? So why not just go with the fox as the imagery? I mean, you already had the mascot Diesel, he's a fox. Why not just give him a promotion and make him the badge now? I tried my best to make a badge out of this logo, but I suck at this kind of thing, so I gave up after about 15 minutes. But someone out there can make a badge with this logo, or another Fox logo. Someone has got to be up to the challenge. I'd really love to see it. As always, please let me know what you guys think about everything, from the news of the possible Dynamo rebrand to my attempt of updating the badge. But if you would, please distinguish if you are a Dynamo supporter or a supporter of another team. I think for this topic, it's important to compare the reactions from Dynamo people and other people. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more MLS content, and I'll see you next time.